All right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas. It's Wednesday afternoon, and that means we're going to be talking Ingleside Mustangs football here on Wednesday as we approach week one of the 2024 football season. And on the screen to talk Ingleside Mustangs football, I have the head man, the athletic director, head football coach, Travis Chrisman. Coach, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing great. Finally got some rain, so it's cooling down outside a little bit.
Yes, coach. It felt great. I was outside for a bit and it felt really, really good. That's why I have all this energy today because I didn't have to, the sun didn't take it from me. So it was really, really great. And, it was a little slow getting home because of the traffic and everyone was going kind of slow. But I made it and we're here. And as I said, fans, we are approaching week one of the 2024 season, and Ingleside has a home game on Friday against La Feria. We'll definitely get coach's thoughts here in a bit. But coach, I just kind of want to start off here. You had your second scrimmage at home against CC London. A
Hmm.
team that is pretty good. You talked
Yeah.
about the athletes that it had. Now, I couldn't make it out there. TJ definitely was out there. So he called me afterwards and we were kind of talking about some things, but just wanted to get your thoughts overall. Let's go to the defensive side first. How did the defense fare in performance versus London in the scrimmage?
Man, I thought they did a really, really good job during because we played a half after the controlled portion of it. And I thought during the controlled portion was a little shaky, gave up a lot of big plays, but we were able to make some adjustments, make some changes, and really played them really tight in that live half that we played. Had just one busted coverage on the back end. And then, I mean, other than that, I mean, I was pretty happy, especially with our defensive line. I thought played really well. Thought our linebacking core did really well. Um, our quarterback Sawyer Chalk up on the roof absolutely laid the boom on a couple guys
Awesome.
from London there too. And then, I mean, Jordan Smith locked down his side, and I mean, we had some rotation of players in other places, but I thought really in that live half we played pretty well.
And that's what I seen. So there's some still we've got athleticism in the secondary and safeties, right? We've
Hmm.
got some guys that can shut it down. I mean,
Yep.
Jordan Smith, we saw what he did last year. So that's great. You talked about the D line and the experience that was coming back there, with the D line to be able to stop the run, which I think is going to be very important in some of these games, the teams that we're going to play in the non-district. They love to run the ball. So great to hear that overall. Great performance, great scrimmage there to prepare us as we come into week one. Let's jump over to the offensive side now. And what did you see from the offense in terms of the pass run and quarterback play?
Yeah, we're concentrating on getting better every week. So I think that we have progressed. I think one of our biggest mainstays is our it's on both sides of the ball, and it's our line play. We really like where our offensive line is at and where they're progressing, and same thing defensively. I think those guys are playing really well too. Um, you know, we don't have a definitive full-time starter at running back right now. We're trying to figure out who's going to be the best fit, and right now, where it's going to be by committee and who's got the hot hand. So that's where we're at with there. I thought our receivers did a pretty good job too. Jordan made some really really good catches that Sawyer put only where Jordan could catch it. Where our outside receivers did really well, inside receivers ran. I mean, we're in a good spot right now. We're confident. Obviously, it's still new timing with a new quarterback. Even though we have the majority of our receivers back, it's just a different ball. It's coming at a different angle and different velocity, all that good stuff. But I thought Sawyer did a really good job at quarterback too. He's shown for someone who doesn't have a ton of experience playing spread quarterback, he's shown some moxie in that pocket and the ability to move in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, make plays with his legs when he needs to, and make smart decisions. So I'm pretty happy with where his progression has led to right now.
Coach, I really believe that he's going to get better. Like you said, it's new to him, and I expect every week he's going to get better. He's an athletic uh, player, kid that is big. He's not small.
No,
And I've
he's
never seen
he's a
him close
load.
up. Yeah, he's a load,
Yeah, he's
and
about 6'1", 190. So he's
yeah,
he's a good sized kid.
I've seen him from afar, and so once he, I think, gets starts to get really comfortable with the offense, and the position, watch out, because I really
Hmm.
think mid non-district into district is, I think, where he'll hit his peak, get more confidence, obviously, and that'll be great for the running backs. Sometimes, like you said, it's not one. I've seen offenses where they do run by committee, 2, 3.
Yep.
Everyone gets to low, so you don't have that one back that's got that 12 or 1,000 yard a rusher, but it's sometimes it's good just by committee. Everyone's playing, and for defenses, you don't know where they're coming from because each runner has a different style, right? And so I think as long as the offensive line, can take care of business and kind of control the offensive line and that D line, then it really doesn't matter, as long as the runners are in there, they're going to get those yards. And so I really like, as I'm hearing, and I saw the first scrimmage from Ingleside. A lot of people really, when we talk, think they lost a lot of key players, but this offense and this team's a little different, and they're more teams. So you're gonna you don't have those studs anymore in terms of JC who can just light it up, but by a team now they know they all got to come to play to make it happen. I think sometimes that mindset makes a team more dangerous and better in a lot of ways, and so definitely looking to see what this Ingleside team's going to do this year. And again, Mustang fans, first game is at home. It's this Friday. Come on out, support your Ingleside Mustangs as the Feria comes into town. But if you're working and you can't make it, or you're out of town and still want to support the Mustangs, definitely you can catch it on the MPND Sports Network. The live stream will be live streaming all of the football games this year, home and out of town. And then you can even catch us as we'll be doing other sports as well. Coach, before we get into the game against Lafayette and get your thoughts, I do want to talk a little bit about the junior varsity and freshmen. They will also be starting, correct me if I'm wrong, they'll be traveling, I think, tomorrow to these games. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, they have Flower Bluff. They're in Flower Bluff tomorrow.
Both squads?
JV and freshmen are in Flower Bluff. Yeah.
So what can you tell us? How have they prepared? What do you see from them as they start their first game of the season?
No, it's the same. I mean, it's the same expectations as varsity. It's their second year in both systems, so we expect them to progress. Obviously, the freshmen you're going to have a little bit more patience with because they've already installed, especially offensively, they've installed double, if not triple, to what they were used to running in eighth grade. So, you're going to have a little bit of patience with them, but at the same time, they're quick learners. They're really, really quick learners. They do a good job of getting after it in practice. They want to be coached, and so we're excited about them. Our JV is doing the same thing, though. Their numbers aren't as big, but it's the same deal. We've got some good experience there too, and we're asking more of them than what they did last year, and asking them to continue to progress and and work their way up to varsity. So we like where their progress is going. We're taking that same approach as we do with the varsity, and we're trying to get 1% better every day.
Absolutely. And that's the way you do it. And that's all you can really ask for, right? Just continue to come out, build confidence, learn the system, and give 110% when you're playing. Coach, I'll just ask real quick on these two squads. Who right now is the quarterback for the freshman team and the junior varsity team?
JV right now, Hayden Walker and Marcus Pina are kind of splitting duties with the JV, and then Landon Yonk is our freshman quarterback.
There you go. Just want to get those names out there, so I'll write them down because we're going to be talking about them as we do this podcast. And then, of course, Coach, before we get your thoughts on the game, how's practice been all week? What have you seen from the guys in terms of, what the attitude, I guess, or what are they pumped up? Because most teams, I'd imagine, scrimmage is good, but this is the first one, and usually, we're little antsy. Usually, sometimes it's like we're ready to go. Everyone's pumping, everyone's hyped. What can you tell us? How's practice been for the Mustangs this week?
Practice has been good. It's been nice too. We've had really good weather this week, so that obviously feeds into the kids. They've got a little bit more juice in them. But I really like where our mindset and our attitude is right now. Our kids don't get too high, they don't get too low. They just come ready to work. So they've continued to take that approach into our practices, and we're able to keep them fresh because we don't do all of our practice at one time during the day. It's all split up. Mondays and Wednesdays we get our lift in the morning, and then we practice during the period, and then after school as well. So, our kids are never at it ever longer than about an hour and 15 minutes at a time.
And that's
tops. So we keep them fresh.
that
Try
is
to at
awesome.
least.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. That is
And so
awesome. And
not only looking out for them, but also in that what we're asking of them is in that 45 to about an hour 10 minutes that they are practicing. Like it's full tilt boogie, let's roll. So got to give us everything you have. We're not beating them into the ground. Want to take care of them again. And of course, with all this heat, we've talked about it before too, is keeping them, make sure they're staying hydrated, and we got a long season ahead of us. So we got to have them all.
yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to hear everything that you're saying because yeah, this you got to make sure they stay fresh and ready to go. Coach, the other thing I'm going to ask you this year that I didn't last year, and whatever you can tell me is, are we healthy going into week one?
We are.
Man, that's
Yeah,
that's
we are.
yeah, that's key. That's going to be
Yeah,
the big
major.
key. Yeah, so glad to hear that. And I'll be asking Coach. I didn't ask that last year, but just
Hmm.
whatever you can give us, we'll take in terms of staying healthy and injuries. So now again, you can catch this podcast every week. Coach Chrisman will come on the MPND Sports Network. And you can catch it on all of the social media platforms. That's our YouTube channel. That's our Facebook and Twitter page. And we're also on Spotify now. So all you got to do is go to the search bar, Premier Sports Talk, look for the GT Sports logo. You can catch all of Coach Chrisman's show, the podcast on there. So if you can't catch the video, if you're driving, you can hear the audio. So that'll be not only for football, but we'll be doing that for basketball and all the other sports that we cover. So definitely support the Mustangs through any of those social media platforms. And now, Coach, I want to get back to you. And obviously, week one, La Feria is coming into town. First game, every team wants to get that win. And I don't think you played La Feria last year because I looked
No.
at that. So I don't know how much they know about Ingleside, how much we know about them, but I can tell you, I have seen them in the past. Every time I saw them in a game, they seem to have speed and they seem to like to pass the ball. I don't know if they're any different now, but whatever you have seen, what do the Mustangs need to do to get that first win on Friday versus the Lions? I think that's who they are.
For one, we've got to establish the run game offensively, and two, as long as if we can prevent the big play on defense, I feel like that we're going to put ourselves in the right frame of mind and right situation to win. So, like you said, they do like to throw it. They got a quarterback with a live arm. They got a couple pretty decent receivers. Their linemen on both sides of the ball are pretty good sized kids. So it's going to have to we're gonna have to put four good quarters together and not have any, not necessarily not have any, but we're gonna have to minimize the lulls and really have some good sustaining drives offensively, take care of the football, and of course got to win the kicking game too.
Absolutely. I look, Coach, I'm pumped. I'm always pumped for football and definitely going to be out there again. We want everybody to come out that can come out to Mustang Stadium here on Friday to support the Mustangs. But if you can't make it for whatever the reason is, support the Mustangs through the live stream. If you're out of town and can't make it, no worries. You can catch it on the MPND Sports Network, and I'll be definitely tomorrow letting you guys know where you can catch that game because we're going to start off on a certain platform, but then we're going to be changing here in a couple of weeks. So just be tuning in. I'll let you guys know exactly where you can support the Mustangs through the MPND Sports Network. Coach, thanks again. Next week, we'll be talking more. Coach will be recapping games, previewing games, and next week we'll add the stats. The stats will be coming next week after week one, and we'll be getting coaches' thoughts on performance. We'll be talking more about the players. So definitely be looking for that on top of all of the other stuff that we talked about here next Wednesday on the Coach Travis Chrisman weekly podcast. So definitely support the podcast, support the Mustangs. We're just getting started. We got a lot more things to add to this network. Coach, I'll give you the final thought. Anything you want to add here before we let you go?
Oh, no, just excited to play some real football and excited for week one to get here and get started and kick the season off.
Yes, sir. Friday Night Lights. I'll see you on Friday, Coach. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir, Coach.
All right, bye.